Hello, my name is Kathy, and today I'll be discussing Jupiter in Capricorn. But before I do this, I wanted to let you know that because I have a great many videos now on many different topics, that I've decided to create several different video playlists, so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Jupiter and Capricorn people may have a problem with the hopes in life. There is this feeling that they are always going to be dashed. There is a belief in them that anything they look forward to will ultimately turn out badly. Their optimism is cautiously held in check by their pessimism, so that every time they want to grow or to go out joyfully to experience life, that they will allow their doubts to stop them, so that things can't develop the way that they would want them to. They let their doubts get out of hand, elaborating on them and blowing them up out of all proportion to reality. They will interpret situations as being worse than they actually are by looking for their worst aspects. If this is the case, then they can fall into big depressions and wallow in negativity for long periods of time. They may also restrain their enthusiasm by adhering to all the rules of societal restraint and propriety, all of the thou shalt nots of orthodox public opinion, even while they are struggling and flaring inwardly against the restrictions upon them that these attitudes represent. These people work hard at being dignified and sober by nature. They work to become the good child or citizen. This is done out of their need for respect and recognition by their elders, betters, and peers. They are forever seeking status in others' eyes. They are constantly trying to overcome feelings of inferiority, which they hate, and yet they will exaggerate upon every incident that arouses such feelings in a morbid kind of negative self-justification. These people also really hate to feel guilty, being very aware of the rules, and will either berate themselves for every incident where they broke those rules, or they will project all that feeling out onto others in a kind of self-righteous, superior moral indignation. Jupiter and Capricorn people may have an ambitious drive towards a social and material position of superiority in order to compensate for their inner feelings of inferiority. These people seek dignity and recognition to fill the lack that they feel inwardly. They may become a representative of the conservative and traditional establishment of this world, forever upholding all of its principles and laws, perhaps more strictly than its other members might do in an effort to gain moral superiority. They may also have a great concern with law and with maintaining it, being either an example of great personal integrity or of hypocrisy, depending upon how honest they are within themselves. No matter what, though, these people tend to maintain their dignity and self-control, and possibly their self-importance as well. They are also quite prudent and cautious, perhaps to excess if they are seeking a public life. They may expend so much time and effort upon it that their private and family life suffers in consequence. Even so, their organizational abilities are likely to lead them to a high office in this life. Their innate sense of duty and responsibility is likely to be highly developed, even though they may sometimes be frustrated by the inhibitions that it places upon their freedoms. Jupiter and Capricorn people have the potential to gain an excellent overview of the principles of law, whether natural laws such as in the sciences, social, or in government, or the legal profession or the police. They can gain a very good overview of morality and spirituality via religion or philosophy. This same trait can also show up in large-scale organizational abilities or in spiritual work to fulfill the law. If the focus is on spirituality, they will have a quiet, stable faith in the rightness of all things, and apply themselves with steady determination to crystallize their own being into perfect clarity and order. When negatively expressed, Jupiter and Capricorn people will plunge into projects with great enthusiasm, then back out of them for no apparent reason. Inside, they may be a nervous wreck, afraid to attempt anything really constructive for fear of failing. Their fears of what others think of them may be almost phobic in nature. Excessive worry could lead to stomach disorders in these people, and they could become very mean and miserly. When negatively expressed, these people can be unnecessarily critical and severe with those who work for them, and they will tend to kowtow to those in authority. Jupiter and Capricorn people have a strong desire to be both financially secure and recognized for their largesse. This can create a paradox of economy and extravagance in these people that is baffling to behold. When wealthy, these people can have a tendency to not willingly want to part with a dime they are not obliged to spend on the necessities of life. And yet, they will unhesitatingly invest thousands of dollars in a luxurious yacht. How this works is that they tell themselves that they have bought this expensive thing on the grounds that they need it to entertain their business associates and to maintain their affluent professional image. And so this inner rationalization then allows them to enjoy their lavishness in good conscience. Basically, these people are a combination of ambition coupled with a strong interest in financial matters. People with this placement have the driving ambition to win the success, which will allow them to operate on a grand scale. However, it will be found that these people generally have some issues that will prevent them from enjoying their money as much as they should. They may be rich and still feel poor because of early deprivations, or they may have so many responsibilities that their money is wrenched away from them as fast as they make it. All too often they find that when at last they can afford to have the good things of life, that they are too old to enjoy them. Jupiter and Capricorn people work in a practical and conservative manner without the inclination to indulge in risky speculation. They like to conduct their affairs according to the tried and true rules of tradition, and are satisfied with slow growth and gradual gain in life. Generally speaking, they flourish in business, and when given the opportunity to manage established enterprises of proven merit, they justify their faith invested in them. They want to know precisely where they stand financially, and to feel that the ground is solid beneath their feet. Even when making casual purchases, they prefer to rely on brand names and recognized authorities as an assurance of quality and reliability. Jupiter and Capricorn people are a sure bet when it comes to working their way steadily to the top of the occupation of their choice. They have an inner sense of responsibility and a flair for financial manipulation, good business sense, and a powerful urge to succeed. It is true that it may take longer than actually necessary for them to attain those goals, because they're very interested in doing a thorough job and don't enjoy taking risks. Jupiter and Capricorn people are by nature inclined to be conservative and thrifty when dealing in small amounts of money, but when large sums are concerned, and especially if their reputation or business image is involved, you will find them spending money as though the sky was the limit. This is not necessarily a bad trait to have. What it does is it permits them to build up their savings and make a good start at something, and it prevents them from squandering their money to make an impression. These people use clear and astute thinking when it comes to their financial actions. Jupiter and Capricorn people are also a mixture of enthusiasm and caution. When a bright idea comes to them, they are likely to get carried away with the possibilities for success, only to be brought down at the last moment, or when the first obstacle is encountered by sudden doubts and indecisions. This also is not such a bad trait. This natural restraint forces these people to thoroughly examine facts that they might have skated over in the first wave of optimism. Of course, it goes without saying that hesitation means that they will sometimes miss out on good opportunities. But once they have handled this contradictory part of their nature, they will generally make good, solid progress in life. Jupiter and Capricorn people are natural leaders, usually on the business scene where weighty and sound achievements count the most. They are very well suited to executive positions where practical experience has to be augmented with the power to command and organize. The larger the business and the responsibility, the more likely these people will distinguish themselves. They have a serious approach that impresses their superiors and engenders the respect and obedience or cooperation of employees. A high government post or a career culminating in heading a large public foundation or financial institute is likely to come to those who have the opportunities. These people are also capable of running international conglomerates where the interests are widely diversified and complex. Jupiter and Capricorn people are inveterate and occasionally unorthodox, especially when it comes to self-education in their mature years. They really enjoy reading and study, and probably have some practical connection with politics, science, and even a religious organization. Their personal philosophy is usually well worth listening to if you can be persuade them to talk about it. Jupiter and Capricorn people have far less confidence than their manner might imply. If the truth were told, they actually suffer from severe insecurity, even though it may be justified. In order to compensate for this, they do everything in their power to preserve their reputation and good name. The respect and esteem of others, particularly those in authority, are enormously important to them. They are really hurt by criticism, especially if it's delivered in public. Their innate fear of what others might think can be quite self-torturing for them. To be made a fool of in public is excruciating, and they will never really forgive the person responsible for their mortification. I have a great many videos now on many different topics, and so I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easy to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Well, that's it for now. To stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this free YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button right below this video. Take care.